Hello again, friends, and welcome back to Trackmania World Tour Stage 2, brought to you by myself and Jnic in the booth. We have Game 2 coming up. It is the second of three games that we're going to be seeing today, and it is G1, Gamers First, versus Alliance.
It is two really good teams, but Alliance showcased some amazing lines. Mudda with just an incredible pace throughout all of yesterday. But we can't take anything away from G1 because G1 performed so well last stage. They did lose last week, but I don't think that goes to show what the performance throughout the next coming weeks are going to be.
No, they had a shaky performance yesterday against Big G1, but we just saw how good Big are. So yeah, maybe that is to be expected with how prepared they're looking. Alliance had a great day. They had a stunning performance against Sinners, 4-0 win, and they also had two world records in that game from Mudda, Airwalk and Frosty.
Yeah, I mean, so Mudda, I think you showed me this earlier. Mudda is on paper right now the fastest and best performing player as of
best
yesterday.
Individual performance, you could argue, yes, based on pace and consistency.
Yeah, just full on, just if you only look at numbers. There's, of course, so many more factors that get into it, but he has definitely showed that he has what it takes to just pull out ahead this season.
Yeah, and that squad is so complete then, with Soldier also following up and matching his
absolutely
pace with his consistency. So they're looking strong. G1, they're a team that tends to full risk, and if they succeed, they get world records.
Yeah, that's
also
the
dropping
thing.
Some world records yesterday.
If Gwen, gets on pace and doesn't crash, there's not a lot you can do. You're just gonna have to lose that.
But that's the if. And yesterday they crashed a lot.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right?
Interesting dynamic coming in. If you had to predict, who do you have favored in this game?
Well, I mean, I think we can ask Chat this as well. Chat, what would you predict is the best course of action? Like, if you go strategy-wise, is it to go all out, all in, full risk, like glass cannon build?
Glass cannon, yeah.
Or is it better to go controlled, collected, maybe lower the pace just a little bit, but at least be consistent? What's the play? What would you guys say?
I know which build I find more entertaining. Sometimes like it can be a little too safe. Like, come on, push it a little bit.
I mean, I
think the G1 are a fun team to watch, but their strategy didn't work yesterday.
Also, if you guys didn't see, there's a prediction going on, so do spend all of your channel points.
But I have to ask you directly, and because Chat is betting. If you had to bet on a victory.
I always say, all in, always. It is you can never lose, right?
But
so
you gotta give me an answer. Who do you think wins?
I think I'm gonna bet for Alliance.
Alliance winning this game, all right?
Yeah, I think the controlled pace, the calm and collected approach, and the consistency is gonna win this one. But you never know. What about you? What do you think?
I think Alliance are gonna take it. G1 didn't look that good yesterday. Depends on the maps, though.
Okay, shots fired here.
Depends on the maps, but I really want to see Sinews. Come on, Sinews was picked, and then they get a full sweep. And I don't get to see the map.
You were so happy.
I was so happy. And it's a map that suits Mudda really well. Like, if it is left open, it is a high likelihood that Alliance will pick it.
Yeah.
It has speed slides, full speed element. Sinews could be picked.
Actually, I'm gonna go in and put all my points on Alliance right now. Right now. Live on your stream, I am all inning.
Okay, so yeah, I guess just make it a massive prediction then. Jnic is all in. I have infinite points, so I can't really do that.
No, you spend all my points in your chat as well, by the way.
I did spend all your channel points.
He logged into my Twitch account, went on his own channel, and full bet all I had on a wrong prediction.
To be honest, it was a good investment strategy. It was a glass cannon build, Jnic.
Dude, we would
have been channel point millionaires if that one went through.
I always go full risk whenever, like, all the damage, all the speed, everything. Just I don't need a I need a heavy armor. I need a light armor that I'm flexible and fast in.
I see. You want movement speed.
Did
you see the picture of me and Knut?
Yes.
That's just movement speed build versus strength build.
Yeah.
Like
you could probably outrun Knut.
100%.
But you would be so scared at the same time. Imagine Knut running at you. I would like.
What are you more scared of? A bear running after you or Knut?
Right, that's the thing, right?
A grizzly bear, dude.
Oh my god. But okay, either way,
Trackmania.
Trackmania is where we came from.
Yeah, we came in for Trackmania. Thinking about maps, Jnic. I've made some theories about different winning strategies here, okay?
Okay.
Alliance looking really good on Frosty. They also have Grip, and on Grip, G1 didn't know Align yesterday, which means Alliance know they had 24 hours to learn this
They
map.
should be able to...
Grip is a very good choice against them, just poking at their weakness. But then you have to think for G1, okay, Breaking, they got the world record there from Gwen. Really good map. Off-road, also really good map.
Yes. Oh, off-road is going to be great for them. They first picked Airwalk.
Yeah.
Which is goes to show that they definitely feel comfortable on that map. They did ban control last time. So we're going to have to see if they go with... So what Big did is that they did exactly the same picks and bans yesterday as they did today. Or today as they did yesterday. So we're going to see if Alliance or G1 does the same. I think there is a strategy that just goes, you know, pick whatever you're comfortable with. Don't care about your opponents. Don't care about what they're good at. Just focus on you. And then there's the other strategy where you look at what your opponents are good at.
Yeah.
And specifically practice those maps.
It looks like we're going into the game right now as the players are getting ready. Strategies we can talk about as much as we want, but we will really have to see what they opt for, what they think is the best course of action to win this game.
So they're warming up here on Vortex, which is not going to be the map that they play immediately, but it's just a good map to look at.
Vortex, by the way, if I had to predict here, I think G1 might have learned the Vortex line. Sinu's
instant ban.
Oh, Jnic, take it away. I'm going to cry in the corner.
I mean, it was probably a fine ban. Nobody's played it yet.
What is it with that one map that nobody wants to play? It's crazy.
I mean, I think Alliance might be saving it, honestly.
It's a quick pick and ban. Frosty from Alliance, Off-road the answer, Grip the third, Breaking the fourth, Vortex the fifth.
I mean, this is hard to follow along with, but
no, I already called these first 4 picks just a couple of minutes ago. So okay, we have it figured.
Yep.
But what's gonna be the decision here? They're thinking about it. G1 banned control yesterday. So if you're thinking, oh, maybe they don't want to play this map, hey, let's play it.
I think they are gonna pick Airwalk here. It would make sense in my mind.
Mutta is very fast on that. Oh, they go for pool, actually.
They go for pool.
But G1 also showed favors.
And then control getting picked randomly, which is good.
Probably good for Alliance there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be, both teams are picking their absolute best here. And it might be a type of match where Alliance win their map, G1 win theirs, Alliance win theirs.
Exactly.
So if a team at any point wins their opponent's choice here, that's
that
like
could sway. Yeah, that could sway
game-changing.
the entire thing.
If you find an opening anywhere.
But this is what I talked about with the strategies. Maybe you just practice the maps you know you're gonna win, because then at least you have those 3-4 map picks that you feel like this is what I can do. But the problem is though that if you happen to lose one of those maps, it's just over.
That's how Into the Breach got crushed.
Yeah.
Earlier, they lost Vortex, their hidden weapon, and then it's curtains.
But I mean, we're gonna have to see what happens. I think it's gonna be a great match here.
Yeah,
G1.
get some hype, chat. It is Alliance versus G1. 4 formidable players, 7 fantastic maps to watch. Really love the variety we have with so many different styles on the tracks. Frosty here is a very ice-heavy map. And Mutta is one of the best ice players in the world. That's why Alliance love this map. Mutta beat the world record yesterday by 3 to 4 tenths of a second.
And you can see here the classic Mutta strategy in the warm-up. He just does not play at all. He doesn't want any warm-ups. He likes to go in cold.
Yeah, he goes in, like, you know, instead of heating the chicken, he just eats it raw.
That is not exactly how I would explain it, but sure, that is a great analogy, Virtual.
I saw a news story, and it was a Australian man caught eating raw chicken on camera in like a grocery store.
Oh my god.
That is essentially the Mutta strategy, if I had to summarize it. But
let's say that. But right here, you see they flick into this straight. It's a flick that works because you have icy wheels, and icy wheels on dirt have some very specific mechanics. Binks and Gwen in the lead though. Oh, that is such a low line from Gwen. Jesus, you really utilizing the fact that you're landing on plastic with 0 acceleration penalty.
Yeah, but here the ice part where Mutta shines the 360s. Look at that perfect exit onto the dirt again, catching that gear 4 as soon as possible. And into the downhill here, he will have a very commanding lead to work with. That is 3 tenths of a second before the second set of 360s, and with Soldier joining the mix here, this is a potential ace situation for them. Binks and Gwen being put under a lot of pressure on Alliance's map choice. That's a mistake from Binks in the back there. And Soldier has passed Gwen on the first 360, but Gwen holding on for now. The last one, though, it will be an ace. And Alliance are kicking off things very fast.
That was a fast round here. 105 is what we want to see pretty much every round, though. But definitely Modern Soldier coming in with an ace first round. That is what you love to see. I mean, just showcasing this is how you want to play your map choice.
Keeping it chill, keeping it cool, keeping it frosty is what they're doing right here. And every map has an identity. They're also named after the identities to make them easier to remember.
They're nice and easy names this time around. Like Speed, it's an easy map to remember. Speed, right?
I think the worst map we ever had in the Trackmania Grand League was the map Bolt Holes.
Oh, Bolt Holes.
Because when you have to cast that map and you have to talk fast, it is sometimes it goes wrong. So Frosty, easy. We love that. Easy to pronounce.
Easy to pronounce and easy to remember why it's called Frosty, right? It is due to these very signature 360 moves on ice that you have to perform multiple times during the match here. Gwen currently on a banger time, way far ahead, 0.3 ahead of the rest of the match here. And I mean, everybody's going tight. We've seen multiple different lines, one of them going wide. I think the wide line looks a little bit faster, but everybody opts to go a little bit tighter here. And Gwen now in a demanding lead before we head into the final couple of turnarounds. Mudda almost getting it. Oh, 5,000ths of a second. Gwen accidentally hitting the finish, the side of the finish, but he still maintains that lead.
So close. A crash on the finish and 5,000 still to spare for Gwen. That's why you want to build up that lead early, to have some leeway in the ending. And makes it a draw, 4-1. But I mean, Alliance, they're using their best card early. Like, they should, on paper, win this map.
Yeah.
And G1 being able to keep up and securing a draw there shows that, you know, okay, they can have a standing ground here. Try to
Oh, they definitely can. And it's so important that he maintained that lead because it's just such a tilter being so far ahead. Oh, it's Soldier!
And maybe they can actually equalize that 4-4 here with an ace.
Oh my God!
Well. This match is gonna go equal.
It does look like it is indeed. I mean, Gamers First, they definitely know they're 5 seconds ahead by now. So all they have to do, and the thing about this identity is that you can't fly out the map, right?
Yeah.
You can't really do anything that is horribly, horribly wrong. If you just safe it, you should be able to, I mean, you might lose like a second or two, but that doesn't matter. When you're 5 seconds ahead, you can just make sure you hit the finish, basically.
The only thing you can hit is the spectators here, and that, you know, they just have unfortunate seats, if anything
I mean,
happens.
they're safe. They're safe.
They're safe. They're not even real, okay? It's all fake. It's all an illusion.
It's all that illusion. Okay, giving chat just a little bit of what is it called? Existential crisis.
Maybe we are the spectators in the stadium and we don't even know that we're fake.
See, what I want is that I want the spectators to be able to like hear them clap once you pass them and stuff. That would be cool.
I think that Deo should troll the community and all of a sudden just make one of the spectators move. Like, everyone's an NPC, but one of them is moving.
Just runs out on the track.
Just ever so slightly. Keep people on their toes. Keep people active when they're driving.
When really showcasing that low line. So he lands so far sideways that usually you would get an acceleration penalty. That is difficult to say. But because you land on plastic, you can land sideways and not lose any speed whatsoever. And in fact, he gains speed because he gets to accelerate. Wow, Mudda with the speed. That was pretty risky, but my God, did that pay off.
And I want to give out a quick pace alert here with great 360s. This is close to the world record pace. Gwen hitting the wall, getting passed by Soldier. Favorable position for Alliance. Here we go into the 360s. Binks has missed. That's an ace potentially. Soldier joining Mudda now top 2, and they're gonna take another ace here. 2 aces on their own choice. 7-4.
And this is still like, this is a good round, but still half a second.
Yeah, Mudda had a crazy
behind
time.
his world record. Mudda did so well on this map last time, so I don't know. He knows how to play this map, and he definitely shows it. And now they're in this dangerous track point section where an ace would give them the first map.
So far, Binks and Gwen, they are gaining a lot of time early. You can see it here again. Tighter line there on the ice line. Tighter turn by Gwen. That was miraculous that he survived that, but able to control the spacing. And then, as you mentioned, the ramp cut. He lands super sideways on the plastic, gets grip earlier, and maybe gains at most a few hundreds with that. he's gained about 1/10 out of all in the start. But here in the ice is where Alliance fight back, and Mudda getting a good ice slide there. Then as we saw last round, this drift.
Yeah,
insane
he
speed
pushes
there.
it so hard. Look at that. Once again, it's such a long straight. You get so much speed out of it if you risk it just a little bit. And that pushed him multiple tenths ahead of the rest of the field. And Soldier right there behind him. They are pushing. They are actually dangerously closing to getting that ace and closing out the map. He just needs to overtake Gwen. Can Soldier get that second place? He's getting closer, but does not manage to get it. Honestly, almost lost that third place. But they get 2 points, moving up to 9-5.
And a fantastic time from Mudda. I think that's the second fastest time we've seen on the map. Only second to his record, so 105.4, very tough to beat. 9-5, they only need one more point. They could lose a round, but as long as they don't get aced here, they will win.
They would, but I mean, Alliance, all they need to do is not get third and fourth. That's all they need to do.
Yeah.
And Mudda is a very consistent player. Soldier has been right up there with him most of the rounds. It's going to be incredibly difficult, especially since Gwen and Binks, they're not ahead already. And they need to be ahead because by the time that we reach that middle part of the map, Mudda is just going to fly ahead. And Gwen, I mean, that basically putting the nail in the coffin there for his team.
Yeah, it is 2 seconds, and they both have to get past the blue players, so it's looking unlikely here, but we've seen, I remember a round, I think it was the playoffs, where last year on Quicksand, where Mudda hit the finish with like a 10-second lead and flipped upside down.
So rough.
It's one of the rarest things we can see as a choke from a situation like this, but you know, some people are known for that.
Not only one choke, it needs to be a choke from both the players, both Alliance players.
It needs to be a multi-dimensional choke on unprecedented levels.
Did not happen there. Mudda closing it out for his team, 11-6. First map goes to Team Alliance. What a wonderful performance.
Yeah. As expected, Alliance do take Frosty, but, you know, gamers first, I think they were also ready for that.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, you can put up a good fight, but if they're driving mid 105s every time, it's so tough. And so you just think, okay, let's go to our map then. Let's try to play on our turf. And here, G1 are the clear favorites.
Yeah, we have Alliance starting off with an ace, of course, and then we have some mistakes from Alliance, of course. They unfortunately did 2 mistakes back-to-back in the same round.
Yeah, that's not one round they really...
That's the one round where... But gamers first, they took advantage of it, which is what they should do.
So I'm super curious to see Alliance on off-road. We know gamers first are fast on this. It's a map that suits them stylistically. We describe it as a French map. And the reason we say that is because a French streamer, Zerator, popularized this map style. Zerator popularized this map style with his tournaments. And a lot of French players started building similar maps. So they're actually called Zerator maps, or French maps if you want to be more broad. But the signature here is a lot of obstacles and often a lot of pillars or trees in the middle of the road. It's like you're driving through a forest.
Yes, and precision is definitely a valued skill to have on a map like this. You can see just how precise some of these lines are.
Thanks for the mistake.
As we head into the later part of the map, we are getting closer. Ooh, another mistake. This is actually the first round. We have gone through the warm-up, so this looks like Gwen is far ahead as we head into the first part of the identity.
Yeah, this is where it really starts to show that this is very, very characteristic of those Zerator maps. Driving in the forest right now, off-road, and Gwen is one of the best players at that, having won the Zerator Cup 2 years ago. And he will take the first round 59-38, close to his own record, 59-25, I believe, from the All-Stars tournament.
And the thing about this identity, we talked about this before, is that they drive on penalty grass, which it severely limits the maximum speed of the car. So it's very hard to overtake people in that identity if they don't make a mistake.
Yeah, like they're driving at full speed and their car is going slower and slower because of the penalty surface.
So once you make it to that identity, if you're in the lead, you are likely to keep that lead unless you make any sort of huge mistake, like drive into a tree or release.
Or you miss the line, you have to hesitate, release. If you release there, it's gonna cost. It's gonna bleed a lot of time. And then you...
Ooh, that's a ramp cut.
Yeah, they're trying to get fancy with it to reduce airtime there. Binks was successful. You can see that he gained time against Alliance. Here, Binks also avoiding his mistake. And here, on this part, they do go through this triangle. Mutta again hitting the checkpoint there, though. Something off with his rhythm. Getting passed by Gwen. And Binks now could win this round for the team. Put G1 in the lead.
He is quite far in the lead. Soldier not too far behind, though. But as we said, it is difficult to overtake here in the ending. So if Binks does this flawlessly, as we go into camera 2 for you guys to see it quite a bit better, Binks does execute it. Just one more right-hander, and it's into the finish. Beautifully done by Binks. Soldier keeping up quite well. But it's going to be the 2 points for Gamers First.
2 points secured there. Gwen also, after that mistake, being able to just stabilize and actually gaining time throughout the track. Without that mistake, he was driving, again, 59.3, 0.4 pace. So that's the problem for Alliance here is they're driving at around 1 minute pace right now, which is close to a second behind Gwen at his peak here.
Yeah. But we can't say anything quite yet because Mutta and Soldier, they have surprised us before with paces that we did not expect to come out of them on maps that they didn't necessarily look like they prioritized. But they can still do it. As you can see, Soldier up there with Gwen right now.
He is now the 3rd time. It's the charm for Mutta on the triangle, but not for Gwen. He has a slowdown there. Some of the Alliance look to get a round for themselves on this map. Binks missing the line. This could be an ace happening. Soldier in first, and the gap is around half a second to both G1 players, but they do have to get through the forest in between the trees right now without any mistakes from both of the teammates, and it looks like they have it under control. Alliance will ace G1 and with great time.
That's a great time, a 0.4. Anything low 59 is definitely a time that could win a round. So, great showing there from Alliance, and now putting themselves in the lead on G1's map of choice.
And this map really is, I think, almost a must-win for G1 because
it's like a specialty map, you know?
It is, and the next map is heavily Alliance favored, and then they only need, you know, 2 more after that, or 1 more after that actually, if they take this one. So
that ramp cut does actually seem to favor Gwen quite a bit. Like he gains at least like 500ths of a second from that, and he's now a car length ahead.
Yeah, he has way more speed for the next part. Going into the jump though, Soldier going very close, having to go a little wide for safety. This ice slide, by the way, way harder than it looks. If you try the map, it's so easy to have the car slide out there, so that is...
It's surprising we haven't seen more slide outs, honestly.
It's a hidden precision part. Soldier hitting the wall though. Binks coming through.
He's not gonna make the jump.
No, he's not. Oh, he can't get up, and that means he will be way out of the round, but who's going to take first? Such a close fight between Mutta and Gwen right now. Gwen with more speed sliding actually through to the finish to get it by 500.
Mutta got a little bit of a wonky line in the ending, had to drift more to make it, and therefore lost a little bit of speed, giving Gwen the lead. But yeah, this jump up to the start of the identity is definitely not anything to joke about, because it is so difficult.
Yeah.
Like, it is... Yeah, I mean, it looks easy. It looks like it's just a jump, but the speed you need to carry just to make that, because it's an engine-off section, is very difficult.
Yeah, and the place you want to land too is quite far on the right side, so you have to jump over the steepest part of that hill.
Yeah. Like, it's definitely not an arbitrary part of the map. It's one of the cruxes of the map, absolutely.
The next round, Alliance and Mutta also using that ramp cut, but here in the downhill is really where Binks and Gwen find some time. And into the drift as well. They're always ahead on this next checkpoint, but now Mutta has the speed to match them. Going through up onto the triangle jump now through this gap in the checkpoint. It's the fastest line there, and Binks in the lead into the ice.
Gwen going quite high together with Mutta. That means they get a little bit less of that booster. Mutta also didn't get that much, and Binks and Gwen in the lead, looking to try to see if they can ace this out. Are they going to be able to? Mutta is quite close, but I mean, this is the identity separating Gamers First from a very well put position here. Gwen and Binks, one more turn, and they make it.
Great round there for G1. You can see Mutta creeping closer on the penalty grass, but as you said, you can't really gain that much, only gaining a few hundreds at most. G1 are back in the lead on this map, 8-6. And 59.3 as well.
I mean, it was 3 players went basically 59.5 or below, which is great pace by most of the field. So you love to see it.
We do have Binks' car teleporting a little bit in the spectator point of view. Hopefully that is all fine with internet and all. Do not want to have any mishaps, but it looks like it's under control now. And that is a
my
fantastic
lord.
ramp cut. This is where it pays off.
I mean, you gotta question whether or not he felt safe doing that, because it looked a little bit out of control, but definitely a beautiful. If that was on purpose, that's impressive.
Ooh. Gwen also opting for the wide setup there. I don't think he wanted to do that, but just felt uncomfortable with the tight line setup he had. That does get Mutta and Soldier back up to pace. They are matching him, but G1 only need 2 points. They only need a regular victory, and they are in formation to get that. Binks with a big lead going into the identity, but here comes Mutta catching up onto the reset. He's ahead now in the last uphill. Gwen taking third for now.
No,
Mutta crashing, and will that be the win? It will indeed. Gamers first, clutch out their own map, but that was a nail-biter of a game.
What a ending. Mutta, such a risky move there. He got more exit speed into the identity part because he went far on the apex before the jump, and that gave him more speed, but so risky.
I think Alliance, though, showing up really strong on off-road. Against other teams, they would probably win this map here. We see them acing in the replay.
Yes.
That was a good round for them. And then, even in these rounds they lost, they were still keeping up very close, apart from the mistake.
I think they did really well, also considering that this was G1's, like, specialty map.
Yeah, like, this was their first choice. Out of the deck, this was their best card, you know? Like,
so, it's understandable you lose it, but definitely
the story going into Grip here, map 3, this is Alliance's choice again, is very interesting. Yesterday, Gamers first played this, and there's one racing line on the track that they did not use. They did not know about it. This was the first game of the season. And that line gains 0.3 of a second. So Alliance know this. That's why they picked it. Alliance know Gamers first, they've had 24 hours to do their homework and learn this line. Else they're probably going to lose this map.
Yeah.
And the line is coming up right after this quarter pipe.
I mean, I hope we see both the teams do it.
It's in this plastic part, you want to go between the pillars, and they have used it. They have added it, and so the game will not be decided based on that. And it's crazy how fast Gwen is on this already. He had the world record before the season without that line, so I'm very curious to see his pace now that he's using it. But
Mutta getting dangerously close. Also looks like he has more speed here on the engine off part and actually overtakes a small breakaway happening right now. Soldier,
look at Mutta. He's balancing on the side of his car almost, going vertical, but he will gain speed from that and he will secure the win, but it will not be an ace. Great time though.
That is a great time. First round, no warm-up, and Mutta almost drives world record. So, I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, I mean, Gwen is probably going to be the one to try to stop him. He was close until the water part, as you said. Had a slide out there, I believe, costing him a lot of time, but Mutta's identity looked so refined.
I mean, I think we're going to see that again. Mutta also, I think he is a player that will utilize that.
Clip Gwen respawning.
Okay, but he will utilize that inside left turn way better than the other players, I think, because he gets a speed slide out of it. So he goes very far left and then wide on the apex to speed slide as far as possible and keep that lead.
I think he's also intentionally ice wiggling that landing. Like, he lands sideways so you can get a small ice wiggle on the exit. Just small tricks here and there, but it's bringing him closer to Binks. Soldier in the lead, carrying that speed towards the identity. Binks is just there to play denial right now. Does not want to get aced. Want to keep his team in contention, but Mutta's identity is once again strong. Passing Binks on the first curve. Onto the second one. Can Binks find anything here?
Oh my god, Mutta! I think I have a theory of why Mutta is good at that. So, Mutta says that he's one of the best people in the world to speed slide, to speed drift. And that's a rhythm, a tapping rhythm.
It's a tapping rhythm, yeah.
And I believe he does the same tapping rhythm to turn and release on that. And if he's so good at rhythming, I think that's why. I think he's so used to using a rhythm. Oh, Bing's missing that checkpoint. Twice in a row.
Oh, no.
Okay,
I mean, why you have to go high here is because there is that ring checkpoint in the air. And so you play a dangerous game there of limbo. If you go too low, you're going to get burnt. And now Gwen in a 1v2. G1 have not found a round on this map yet where they're in sync.
That would be like reverse limbo, right? Reverse limbo, where you do want to hit the thing instead of not hitting the thing. It's not how low can you go, it is how low can you go but still touch.
Yeah. It's limbo, but limbo 2.
Yes. Limbo V2. Oh, Soldier! flying off.
Caught on camera pressing the jump button, referee coming through.
But Mudda's gonna be in the lead. I think Mudda has a great time on his hands as well. Gwen also really close.
Yeah, you see that. Tap, 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 tap,
yeah, exactly, right? That's what I noticed.
Yeah, interesting strat from Mudda. And I mean, you said car control. I couldn't think of a player with better car control than Mudda in this game.
I think it definitely it favors him that he knows how to. I mean, this is what we talked about. He's so meticulous in his practice that he finds, like, it could be just some random visual cue and he knows I have to turn to the right at this exact point. Or it could be like this, where he knows if I tap in this rhythm and release in this rhythm, I don't fall off and I get a consistent line.
And I think the best display we've seen of that is when he hunted the track deep here. It's a 10-minute long full speed track. And it's so difficult that it's very hard to play it and, you know, pass the checkpoints. But he tried to get every checkpoint in a row. And when he was practicing that, he memorized every single speed for every single jump for a 10-minute map. And it was like, okay, if I have 560, I will do this. But if I have 561, I will do something else. Like, just so much knowledge and so meticulous, as you said. And it's paying off. Like, he will always know how to adapt to the situation he's in. And right now, I think it's going full risk. And we're going to see a fast
And the thing about it here, you can see he's tapping, right?
Yeah, it does not matter if he crashes, so he will full send.
And you might think, oh, he's tapping because it's on a keyboard. He's not on a keyboard.
Oh, an ace!
This is an ace! Alliance takes map number 3.
Very sudden victory there with Binks crashing out and Gwen being far behind, but I don't know if they had hopes of winning this. They didn't have the strat yesterday. They had some time to learn it, and it wasn't the strat that cost them the map, but I think they were just not able to get clean runs together.
True.
Always a 1 versus 2.
Let's take a look at one of these replays here where you can see Alliance do that identity risky to make sure that they get this this ace. I mean, Alliance definitely are showcasing some fast and consistent strats. This is what we talked about: consistency over just full risking.
Yeah. And something you might not know is that even though the car is on 2 wheels, it will still accelerate just as fast as 4 wheels.
Yeah.
So you actually want to get as fast that the left wheels start to lift off there. That's the most optimal way, is balancing on 2 wheels the entire time.
I still really liked the if they could just have to perfect this map. I think they should do that bug that Grenadi did, where he teleport through the finish line.
Yeah.
That's all they needed to do to perfect the run, I think.
Just make it the identity.
Because you have style points. Style points are definitely a valid thing in this game.
You get +1 point on the scoreboard if you bug through.
Oh, 100%. if it was my tournament, I would do that every day of the week.
Yeah.
But here we have braking, which is one of the harder maps, I think, of the map pack. Where the gimmick is that you have to control your speed by braking, specifically by kind of wiggling your car because you have watery wheels when it happens. It's quite a difficult mechanic, but we'll see when the identity comes up here in a moment.
G1 have changed their approach. They're going tight on the water turn now instead of wide with a no slide, so that's something they've added. But this is G1's choice. So far the map is going according to expectations, with both teams just picking their strongest maps and dominating on them. And this is one of G1's best from yesterday, where they were really, really quick. But I think it's a map that suits Mudda, and you can tell that he's driving very fast on it. But the identity is still to come. It's a scary part. The players will have engine off and wet tires, and the best way to slow down the car for the upcoming turn is to drift back and forth.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to see the players do right now here. So they have wet tires, and they're going to drift back and forth, making sure they get very specific speed that they decided on.
Ooh, Gwen pushing, trying to get more speed than Mudda onto the last plank. They're slowing down as much as they can to get this last corner. Gwen having to back out of the turn, and Mudda will win the round with a 1:13.15. I mentioned Gwen's pace, but watch out for this man, Mudda, almost beating the record in the first round.
Mudda's just good on everything, is what it is. It looks like.
Yeah. Simple as.
That was 1/10 behind world record. So I mean, he has consistent fast pace. He's a dangerous man to play against right now.
I thought we were gonna keep that secret. Like, the entire thing was we're gonna build up the story to be like, this is a Mudda map. This one favors someone else. But if we say that Mudda's good on everything, it's just boring. But he is good on everything. It's crazy.
It's a pleasure to watch him play. Gwen in the lead, though. Gwen does have incredible pace on this map as well. I think he touched with the back right wheel, allowing Mudda to overtake.
That was very, very close, at least. All 4 players making it through the first 30 seconds into the ice line, which is not at all trivial to get a good exit here down the hill without losing speed. And look at that exit speed from Binks, catching up all the way to the Alliance players before the drift and the ending section. Maybe it's them this time who has to fight on the identity to try to secure first place, because so far, Soldier as well going a bit under the radar with Mudda driving these times, but he's up there following his teammate every step of the way. First identity turn right now, you want to slow down to 350 to make the turn, and then the last one is at right about 280 speed is where you want to commit for the turn. Mudda going for 282, making it, and Soldier will be there for the ace as well. Both of them driving 130.
I mean, this is getting dangerous for G1 because we've talked about this. The teams are basically just pick the map they're most comfortable with, and they're just relying on winning their own map. But the second you win your opponent's map choice, I mean, that is getting dangerous.
This is the closest we've seen any team be to winning their opponent's map. Because Alliance here, it's not just that they are 5-1 up, but they're beating G1's times from yesterday, except for that one Vortex from Gwen, and Gwen just hit the wall at the start of the 1 minute long map. So Binks now being left in a very long 1 versus 2 here to try to fight off these fast players, and they are in first and third, but not far from first and second.
I mean, this is looking bleak for Gamers First. Binks has to deny as many points as possible. He needs to get that first place to make this round a tie. Otherwise, Alliance will bump up at least 2 points here. So, I mean, Binks is definitely on a heavy-duty task right now. Soldier in the lead.
Yeah, Mudda missed the ice line a little bit and very wide out to the side there, and Binks was able to get past one at least, but this identity, it is scary. He does get more speed across the ice though, so he has first place.
Binks goes for this. He doesn't slide back and forth. He just breaks here on the straight, which is a little bit slower than sliding, but it is consistent. He's gonna slide a little bit here on the second one, maybe wiggle.
Soldier, tries it, but not quite. Mudda as well, just gonna secure. I think that's still. No, it's actually a winning round.
It's actually a winning game for Gamers First, which is important. Like, that extra 1 point does help. Alliance would have gotten 1 point either way, whether or not they got a tie or a loss, but you want to deny those points from your opponents.
You definitely do. 6-3. G1 getting a little bit closer, not as bleak, but I think in order to get fully back here and have a chance of winning this, they can't afford to crash anymore. That one crash from Gwen was looking like it was over on the map.
Oh my god, yeah, that is so dangerous. Also because Gwen is the player here on Gamers First that has the highest pace on this map, but very well played from Binks to save it.
He's always up there in the start, always first place before the ice. I'm just waiting for him to deliver one of these bangers, and we'll see.
I mean, he did bang into a pole, but I don't think that's quite what you meant. And now Binks, once again, with the task. I mean, he gets a lot of exit speed again on that downhill, overtaking Soldier here, getting closer to Mudda as well. But, I mean, this is a difficult task, overtaking Mudda here in the ending. He's trying to get as much speed as he can.
Again, getting fast on this cruise control part. Catching up to Mudda now. Binks, try to be the hero. Oh, no! Both of the players from G1 playing with fire, and they get burned, taking 2 big risks. Alliance could ace up to 9-3. If they both survive this last part, they will have seen the splits. They are slowing down more than enough to make the turn. Alliance looking to get 2 maps up against G1.
I mean, this 9-3 is difficult to come back from. But Gamers First are looking at 3 aces, right? They have to, no, 2 aces and then some, right?
Yeah, at least 2 aces in a row is the only way back. But remember in the playoffs, they did this against Solary.
It's not impossible.
They were down 9-4 on the map, and they double ace to get back.
It's definitely not impossible, and they have the pace to get first and second multiple rounds in a row. It's just they can't afford to do a single mistake now. Like, any mistake whatsoever will probably make Alliance take home this map.
And it is such a hard map to survive consistently with all the effect blocks that are happening to your car. Every color block they drive over is a new effect. So right now they have Reactor Fragile. Later on they have Cruise Control, No Braking. Like, this map has, I think, every effect block represented, and
other than slow motion.
To adapt to. Other than slow-mo. Indeed, but yeah, no, the map itself is what might stop them, not the Alliance players.
No, that's true. Binks is in the back, though. He needs to overtake Soldier. He does do that, and now he needs to creep up to Gwen and Mutta. Mutta trying to hold that first place, though. See, anything else than first and second for Gamers First will result in them losing their map choice. So they have to start pushing.
But so hard for Binks right now. Mutta is driving world record pace up front. It's a 112 pace run with a good end. And Gwen and Binks, although they've passed Soldier, still have to get past the world record effectively. Mutta on a tear right now. Gwen getting a lot more speed, daring to commit for that turn, and he's made it past. Will he hold on to that in the last turn? Will Mutta stay ahead of Binks? Gwen crashing out. That's going to be the map here for Alliance. 113.1 for Mutta.
I mean, these players, if they got a... That ending from Gwen was dangerously fast. Like, that was impressive.
But also just incredible for Mutta. He had the best individual performance yesterday. Looking at the stats, on this map, he dropped 3 113.1s.
Yeah, I mean, he's consistent.
That's
not just
to play
fast, but consistently fast. We're talking within 0.1 of world record multiple times.
I don't know if you ever watched Olympic swimming, but they have this display where there's like the swimmers are swimming, and then there's a bar just moving.
Yeah.
In front, and it's just so ridiculously far in front. It's like the world record bar. Like, that's what it feels like playing against Mutta.
That is...
It's just, you're driving so well, but that world record bar is just always beating you. You can't get past it.
It must be annoying to swim against, honestly. But here we have some of the replays. Also, Gwen, when he pushes the identity a little bit too much and had to release, that gives Alliance the option to overtake, and then they did that. And those are the small little mistakes that you need to capitalize on. You need to see that there's a weakness there. I need to push. Boom, and then you push.
Yeah. Tactical timeout being called here from G1, and we're going on to Vortex, which is Alliance's choice. And the question on my mind...
I love this map so much.
The question on my mind is, are they going to try the ITB strategy, the bug slide?
Oh, Alliance or G1?
Either team. You can tell if they go for the wide dirt line, whether or not they are going to do it, I think. Because if you don't go for the high speed, it might not pay off.
Yeah.
So it's an entire combination there.
I think, well, Big won against G1 on this map, even though they did that strat, so.
They did. Here we go. Round 1 of Vortex. We have not seen what either of these teams have come in with yet on day 2 on this map, so it's going to be exciting. In this turn, we can get a lot of clues. Neither team look to be going for it, but still, it's going to bring a very close race on this map. They're going for this low jump, hitting the checkpoint, and already this is dangerous for Alliance.
They do not want to give away a free ace here in the start. So Soldier is trying to see if he can push. He's getting closer. He's definitely putting pressure on, but this identity is very difficult to overtake because you go full speed throughout the entire identity, and we're closing in on it right now.
Yeah, it's only really one drift left where you can make or break, and maybe the extra speed here can get him past Binks, but Gwen is too far if he survives the identity.
Oh, he's pushing it though. He has a lot of speed.
Speed is there. He gets past Binks, and is Gwen within reach too. Looking scary here. Mutta might have gotten past Binks considering his low speed, but it's going to be a regular victory for G1.
I mean, Soldier, so what happens is the setup for the turn there, Soldier drifted as little as he possibly could to maintain as much momentum, because you basically go full speed from the point you hit that that pipe all the way to the finish. Oh my god, that is one of the worst things that can happen on the map, and it's so easy to happen.
Yeah, if you don't know, the start there, it's a no steering section, so they have to use that spinning disc on the ground. And if you leave it a little bit too early, you will get sent into the checkpoint. Nothing you can do about it. But as you said, the identity, it's all about speed, and Soldier showcasing that with a great round there. Now Mutta has avoided the checkpoint, and you get to see this battle once again.
It did look like he compensated quite a lot to not hit that checkpoint. He went very far left compared to, I think, the optimal line, which made Gwen get that first place, but Mutta's not too far behind. And Mutta is good at utilizing just these drifts to get as much momentum as possible. So he's going to try to do here, both on this one, but also the next two ones, especially this right-hander. He's going to drift as little as possible, push everything, get us close to the left wall, and hopefully that is enough speed to get closer to Gwen. I think it is, but I mean, he's going to need a miracle here in the ending.
Gwen with a great run here too. Really getting a lot of time in the ending. The start was only a 37.3, and we've seen 37.0 even from Into the Breach. But 105.6, so close to the world record. This record is gonna fall soon.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
a matter of time.
Absolutely here. So the players, they're driving off.
Oh,
Binks almost again. They're driving off that moving section as soon as they possibly can because, of course, they want to. The faster you get off it, the faster you just progress with the map. But if you go a little bit too soon, the wheels, they will push you into the checkpoint, as Virtual said. And I mean, that's the risk-reward situation that you have to like. Is it worth it to lose 500ths of a second? Or just save.
Did you see that low jump?
Yeah,
Mudda, instant grip on the reactor, and he's gonna zoom ahead. I think that, in and of itself, might gain more than the entire bug slide we just saw. 37.1 now, rather than the 0.3. And mentioning that world record, having, you know, its days are numbered. It could be seconds rather than days with Mudda so close to breaking it here with
the thing is with Mudda though is that he knows he's 0.5, 0.6 ahead.
He doesn't need to risk, but the Giga Chad from down under.
Oh, and Soldier also overtaking Binks,
yeah,
I think.
that's a lot of speed. That's a lot of speed. Is Gwen within reach? Not quite. Mudda, the splits are crazy. That's going to be a new record here on the track. 1:05.31. Amazing by
Yeah, that is
Mudda.
incredible. 1700ths faster than the previous record, and Mudda can now call himself a world record holder here on Vortex.
Yeah, this is third world record right now in the league out of 10 maps. So, insane. It was all due to that low jump. Getting instantly onto the reactor with the back wheel.
That was a beautiful ramp cut coming in from Mudda. We will probably take a look here to see if he does it again. He's gonna go not too wide here. He does go for the inside line as he's setting up for this right-hander. Goes far right. Jumps off really early. Did not quite get it there.
I don't even understand how early he landed. Like, it's puzzling to my brain to try to figure out how he got instant grip. But that was beautiful to watch. It's going to be Gwen in the lead. His run is a 0.1 now. And he says, if you can do that, I can do that too. Trying to beat Mudda's previous pace. And Binks has made a small mistake, so it is, rather, Soldier, it is going to be G1 with the potential to win this round here. Maybe something could happen in the ending. It looks like Mudda has a lot of speed. Binks will not get closer. Mudda here, not going to get closer to Gwen. But it's Gwen. Oh, he's not going to quite beat Mudda's record, but still the second fastest time we've seen.
Yeah, that beat the old record. So I mean, they're driving world record times right now.
Great pace
which is scary for Alliance because like they thought, okay, we just won their map choice. Now we're on our map choice, and we have like if we win this, we win the whole series. And all of a sudden, it doesn't look like they're in that favorable position as they thought.
Yeah, G1 can definitely strike back here and put it to a 6-map series, but to do that, they will have to beat Mudda, and I mean, that was probably a slow round for him driving a 0.6, so it's gonna be back to the pace here if he hits that ramp cut.
Yeah, so once again, driving far right, trying to jump off early.
Oh my god,
see, there you go.
Beautiful. As a Trackmania nerd, there are things like that, details like that players are able to execute in a live match. It's just, it fills me with joy. I mean, because I can't do that, so I can rather marvel at those that can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you can get filled with joy, but Mudda right now is getting filled with the fuel and the tears of his enemies as he gets closer to Gwen right here. Gets so much more speed, and that's gonna shoot him up to first place if he can maintain this lead. He just needs a good line in the ending, and that's so important for Mudda, securing the tie, making sure that Gamers First don't jump up to 8 points, but they're still in a dangerous position. Okay, Soldier going with a little bit of an alternative line.
Still dangerous. G1 still have the lead, although it's just 1 point. But yeah, Mudda there, that ramp cut is basically the decider of his pace, I think. He's not
absolutely.
He's not crashing anywhere else on the map.
But I think it just goes to show that even though it looked like there was like this best in slot tactic that ITB did with the bug slide, the players are still looking for other tactics. They're still looking, like the map is not solved yet.
Now hear me out. Bug slide with the ramp cut.
No, because you'll hit the hole.
I know, but hear me out.
I'm hearing you out.
It's the coolest thing you can possibly do.
Cook.
Yeah? So I think if a dish looks cool, but it doesn't taste great, it's still a good dish.
Oh, I mean, skins over everything else. Absolutely.
Skins?
Well, a dish, if you dress a dish up, it's just a skin.
Oh, like, yeah, the cosmetics.
Yeah.
like, if a dish has good makeup, it's still, I don't know where we're going with this. Biggs is closing in on Mudda in first, and Soldier made a mistake in the water, meaning G1 could extend this lead. They could go up to 9 points here, maybe even the ace if Gwen dares to push this. Soldier is also close, so we know Soldier gets a lot of speed here, tends to at least have to back out of that slide a little bit to stay safe. And is Mudda getting closer to Binks here? That looks scary. Mudda had a good wall ride last time. Binks holding on though. 300ths. But that does put them to 9.
It was a little bit of a slower round from everybody, a 0.8, which is crazy to say that 0.8 is a slower round, right?
Yeah,
but compared to like the rest of the rounds here, that was a little bit of a slower one. But Alliance can now indeed ace for themselves and get that match point.
7 to 9.
I think they need an ace.
Yeah, it will be the last round on the map here. Ace for Alliance is the win, or
anything
G1
else
will win with any other result and put it to map 6.
So Soldier and Mudda, they just need to full send. There is no other option than just full blasting.
The problem, I think, for them is that G1 have found the rhythm. Sometimes you see G1 crumble.
Soldier getting the low airtime this time.
Yeah, sometimes you see G1 crumble with mistakes, but they have not really made a lot of mistakes on this map, and that is why they are in the lead. Here, though, this is a good setup for Alliance. If they're going to get that ace, they have the splits to do so. All 4 players just within a few hundreds crossing the checkpoints here. And this could flip either way.
Soldier is in the back, though. He got a little bit of an unfavorable line there. And he clips. And that's probably going to give Gamers First Vortex the map down. Mudda is still trying to push to get first. It's going to be a really, really close first place here. It comes down to the ending. Oh my god!
The speed slide king, the full speed champion, dropping a .420 as well. And
very impressive.
I blaze it in the chat, but the map goes to Gamers First. They hold on, they secure.
Oh, he typed blaze it in the chat. Oh my god. Mudda, the memer.
Yeah, no, it's
but that goes to show they're still, you know, high in spirits, even though they lost their map choice. They are still happy about it. They still are having fun, and that is the mindset you need to have. You can't get into a bad mind state just because you lose a map.
No, and I think that's fine. You know, they were able to win breaking. They can lose their own map. They're still up.
Yeah. In total, but it's gonna. So this is Gamers First map choice that we're gonna jump into now because Vortex was Alliances, which means that Gamers First should be winning this, and it might come down to map 7.
And this is a bit of a surprising pick for me. Cool. I mean, Gwen and Binks, they are 2 pace kings, right? So a regular track might suit them really well. But out of what was left, it's like maybe there's something else you could go for. Airwalk, for example, was the first pick yesterday, opting to not play against Alliance. So we'll see if Pool can bring it to a 7-map series. I think that's what we're all hoping for, that this goes the distance.
Absolutely, it's always great. The closer the matches are, the better it is for us.
Here we go. We know 105.2s are what you need to win rounds here. Soldier, the world record holder, with a 0.1 from the All-Stars tournament. Happened last week. Alliance, though, with Mudda making a mistake in the first round. And that small clip there is such a big mistake for this map. It is crazy to say.
But Mudda is great at this specific section where he gets so much speed. He might be able to get a little bit closer to his opponent. Soldier maintaining that lead. He wants to deny Gamers First that ace, because this is a dangerous place to give your opponents an ace.
Yeah, Gwen, though, with such clean lines in that section, looking robotic, just perfect movements left and right. Gets through to first place on the splits before the NNSD. Very fast run being driven right now. Close to Soldier's world record. Could fall with Gwen pushing on in the underwater part. Can he get that setup though? Looked a bit shaky going out of the water, but he gets the line. Binks is there. They could ace on their own choice, and they will with 105.24 from Gwen.
Great time from Gwen, and indeed a great performance from Gamers First, showcasing why it is that they picked this map. They look like they're driving in 10. This reminds me of Big playing the map. They did
Big
so
also,
well as well.
Similar performance, also dropping those 0.2, 0.3 runs. That was only 700s away from the record, which we could see fall today.
Oh, we could. Well, I mean, we've seen multiple records fall already, and this could definitely be one of them.
Although had that mistake, and now we get to see him without it. He gets the best starting drifts out of anyone, and a good low jump onto the dirt as well. And now we'll see how G1 battle Mudda when he does make a mistake. You mentioned this part is where he shines. where they jump up on the road, cancel the water, drift to get full grip, and then just speeding through here. And he is going to gain time versus both the G1 players.
Yeah, but they're driving on top of each other here. I mean, neck and neck, shoulder to shoulder. The top 3 players within 0.1 of a second.
Binks.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake from Binks. And that's what we mean when we say the tiniest of mistakes actually have quite a big impact at this level. Mudda entering the identity. At first, he does not get the drift. Still somewhat in...
Was that intentional? I think that was a new line. I've not seen that before. It looked like he missed the approach. He definitely missed there. And it could be a double ace, actually.
Back-to-back
with Gwen
ace.
taking first place, 105.24, like a robot. But what was that line?
We have to check if he does that one more time, because if he does it again, then it is intentional, right? But I'm not quite sure. It looked like he missed the drift and then... but still made the turn?
If that was on accident, that was an insane save. Split-second reaction. But it looked, honestly, like his line.
But it did look like it was slower. It looked like he lost, like, a car length.
So the thing there is, like, in that first turn, he was slower. But because he was going at slower speed, he could set up for the next turn faster. He's already slower.
Yeah.
So he gained on the next turn again, and I don't know if that might balance out. We have a mistake from Binks this round, but G1 has to be said. This map has been their best one yet. 0-6 right now in the scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, that is a stomp, which is exactly what they need to come back. Like, both in the mindset and momentum that they have. But it does look like a map 7 is definitely what's going to happen. But Mudda and Soldier, they are fighting tooth and nail to come back from a 6-point deficit here. Let's see. Mudda does do it again.
Yeah, he does go for it again. The super inside line. And now he's slow here already, so he doesn't have to slow down so much to get the next turn. Gwen, though, will be in first before the last turn, but Mudda diving in, trying to get a little bit closer. Oh, 200ths and a new world record from Gwen by 100th of a second.
By 100th of a second. Oh, a little bit less.
Half a 100th of a second.
5 thousandths.
5 thousandths. Half a 100th sounds smaller.
It does not, no.
It does not?
No. You keep saying that, you know, if you could say 2/10, that sounds smaller than 20 hundredths.
So yeah,
I disagree. I think it's the other way around.
Okay. Might not be the most appropriate question, but if we are to measure our instruments, okay, would you say it sounds better if you say it like, oh, it is like 100 millimeters?
That sounds smaller.
Okay, that sounds smaller.
Which defends my argument.
Okay, back to Trackmania.
That defends my argument. I'm smart.
Okay.
With instrument measuring. I mean, we have a piano downstairs. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're measuring the piano in the living room. That's true. Mudda right now measuring his splits against his opponents, and it is 13 thousandths of a second ahead on that checkpoint before the NC, but the split itself is world record pace once again. So ring the alarm bells. Gwen sliding out. Binks is in a position to deny the ace from happening, but Soldier's getting close. They could look to snipe this one. Ooh, Mudda close to the world record there.
Once again, yeah, I mean, it's crazy how fast they're driving. It's like both G1 and Alliance, they're driving within 0.1 of world records every single round on all of the maps that we've been playing.
8-3 though. Despite the close rounds, despite the nail biters, G1 is closing in 1 point at a time.
Do you remember what map 7 was going to be?
It's Control, which is interesting because it's the map that G1 banned yesterday.
I mean, that could sound like it was in Alliance's favor, but I also know that there's a tactic where you ban the maps you have secret strats on.
It's a ridiculous strategy. Just okay, don't pick this against us because we're saving a line on this.
Yeah, we wanna not show just how good we are. Soldier making a mistake.
Ban our best map.
I don't know. That's a 5-head move.
We should be coaches, you know. I feel like our potential is wasted with all these strats we're thinking of.
Yeah, that's true. We might actually just have given them strats inadvertently. But Mudda in the lead, trying to deny Gamers First the ace and making this into a draw to at least give them one more chance. But Binks getting such a good identity right there. Getting himself back up to first place. It's gonna be their shoulder to shoulder once again. He gets a little bit more of an inside line, but has less speed, and that's Mudda denying. And Soldier actually creeping up to 3rd place. So that's gonna give Alliance 2 points. Gamers First 1, but Alliance need to have these, ace and a half, basically.
Yeah, they need an ace and a win is what they need to catch up right now. Could happen, but with the pace we're seeing from Gwen and from Binks, like they're both on 0.2 level. So it requires the same from Alliance. 0.2 is a must here in this round from both of them, and then they just have to hope the margins are on their side. Because really, you cannot often control for 1/100th of a second. You just have to hope that it's enough at that rate.
You also gotta hope, like, you can always pray for a slight mistake to happen from either of the sides here. Binks getting quite a lot of speed, getting all the way up to his teammate on second place now.
But hitting that apex so perfectly to follow that up. They have top 2 right now, but as you can tell, the splits, it's not a lot. It's a 10th between all 4 players, and this can shake up either way. Alliance need to get past both the red cars, though, into the water part. Mudda now going for his special line here. The inside line, slower it looks like, but then catches up here in this turn to get a little bit closer to G1. Is it going to be enough? He has a lot of speed. Soldier as well, but they're not gonna get past. G1 acing to close out their map with stunning times from all 4 players.
Amazing time from all 4 players. And I mean, this goes to show that G1, they did not get into their own heads, losing their own map. They are right back into it, winning 2 maps in a row now and going into map 7.
7 map series, love to see it. Will we have G1 losing another? They lost on the 7th against Big, right?
Yes, I think.
Was it 7?
Yeah, I think it was 4-3, yes.
So, you know, like, you get to 7 maps against 2 teams, and then you lose the final. That would be unfortunate for them, but same thing for Alliance.
Mudda and Gwen, both of them driving basically world record times. Gwen beating the world record on this run, though.
Yeah, that was a stunning time, but you can tell how small the gaps are, as it was just 5 thousandths.
Yeah, I mean, that is incredible.
Yeah, just to confirm that, Big won 4-3 against G1 yesterday. So 7 map series. They've played the most maps out of anyone so far.
They get more practice, right?
Yeah,
they can't complain.
Here we go into the first round then of Control. This will be the decider. First to 10 wins the set. And this map is very difficult to drive. Lots of jumps that you need to control your car on. This first one is deceivingly difficult because you have to jump and land exactly with the car tilting over the top of the jump, so you get no airtime. And doing that well will get you enough speed to get gear 4 in this third part.
So as you said, G1 did ban this map last time, which could mean that they don't like the map.
Big mistake from Mudda, make that 2, and Binks might catch up and pass, and yes, we're gonna heal the car. Binks getting past for 3rd right now, so that means
Gwen also making a mistake. Is Mudda able to come back here? He is.
It looks far,
3 seconds. I mean, it's not impossible, but you definitely see that 3 out of 4 players have made pretty decent mistakes right now already.
And the jumps here are unforgiving. If you are just slightly off on the setup, you will not get that bounce to land into the quarter pipe. You have to do that twice here in the ending, so nothing said and done yet. Soldier looks like he will make it though, securing 1st place, and with Gwen surviving and Big surviving, that's a draw to start us off.
But in my opinion, I do think that Alliance looks like they are, like, Mudda made 2 big mistakes. Which I mean, they snowballed into each other. So you can say it's one mistake that kind of turned into more because you can't really do much about it. But if Mudda didn't do that, it does. I think that the consistency that Mudda and Soldier have will be the crucial factor here on map 7.
Yeah, this might be one of the maps where the glass cannon build is just not that good, because if you risk on a map that is already so difficult, you are just asking for crashes. But maybe they can make it work here. G1. Oh, again, we see the cost of the risky playstyle. Binks hitting the wall there. And now Gwen being left in that 1v2 where he basically cannot afford. And
Mudda!
Second time around for Mudda as well.
That's the second, the same place as before.
Same place, same mistake, and now Soldier's crashed. Binks might have a shot here. Oh, no, 7.
No, okay, no.
Silence that thought real quick.
Yep, that was from 0 to 100 back to 0 really
14.
quickly. Yep, that is rough. But his teammate is in the lead, which is what counts. That might end up in a draw, but we never know. We've seen players make mistakes here on the final jumps before, so Gwen has 1 more jump to go before he can say that it's going to turn into a tie here, and he does make it. Soldier also makes it. You would assume that Mudda makes it here in the back as well within the 15 seconds that he has to work with. So that is going to turn into a tie. 1 more point for each of the teams. And I mean, we're happy seeing ties because it just extends this very very
right
close
now
game.
this series is so fun because it was so dominant on either team's map choices. We're 7 maps in, and we're seeing draws. We're seeing like a calm before the storm.
I like how the first match we had, ITB versus Big, was like one way to showcase 4-0 full sweep, mega bop down, and then this second game is 3-3 final map, 2 points on each team, as close as game possibly
this is a thriller right now. Whichever team gets off to a lead here could quickly snowball that out of control, because right now it's just balancing and resting on a knife's edge. Which team will get out to a lead on the 7th? We see Gwen with a good start. We see Binks joining him here. No mistakes. Can Mudda overcome this jump where he's 2 times already released too much? He's going to jump way further now to compensate. Just get through that part at the cost of a little bit extra time this time. Binks clipping the bottom of the bobsled, I think.
Soldier getting a lot of speed as well. They're getting closer to Gwen.
Yeah, Binks has made a big mistake. Gwen alone in first, having to defend this against the 2 Alliance players.
Oh, he is saving it a little bit, which gives Mudda the opportunity to get so close here as we enter the identity. Is Mudda able to overtake here? That is getting closer on 1 jump. He has more speed, but is that going to make the 2nd jump worth it? Oh, Mudda with a huge mistake.
And
is that going to be another tie?
Could be Binks passing him here. Binks securing a win, actually, with that mistake from Mudda.
I mean, at any point is an important point here. So the fact that Gamers First are now a point ahead is putting a lot of pressure on Alliance, even though Alliance might on paper have this map down.
They were down 2 maps to Alliance. Now they are 1 point up on the final map. Tensions are rising here. Probably the pressure for the players too. You have to feel it. You do not want to fight so hard to win a set and have it all wash away.
And especially for G1, losing on the 7th map 2 days in a row, that has to be rough. So they definitely don't want to for that to happen again. That is like playing 7 maps just to lose in the ending is kind of a tilter.
But now they have momentum. Now they have to build off of this. If they can chain this into another win, this will swing heavily in their favor mentally. But it's all about keeping that composure. Binks right now making a mistake on that line, having to adapt that jump to try to get a good exit. Does not get the right one and flings a little bit too much to the side. He's going to be too far to have any say in this top battle. But Gwen is being chased down by 2 blue cars like he's a thief on the run from the police. Blue lights left, right, and center. But we see him still holding on, still keeping the lead in that car chase.
Yeah, they're so close to each other. Gwen can be overtaken. He keeps that lead, but he has 2 Alliance players right on his tail.
Wow.
Oh, Soldier, not quite he does make it. He's going to get into the finish, but I don't know if he's going to do so in front of Binks. There's a little bit of a wonky ending. He did make it, though. It's going to be another draw. Gamers First inching their way closer and closer to those 10 points.
Such a great defense there from Gwen. The call on the comms there was definitely risk if one of us can pass him. It's so worth it.
Absolutely. And that is why one of them also made a mistake. They knew they had 5 seconds to work with as well. It does look like every single round we've had so far, somebody makes a huge, like, multiple second mistake.
Yeah, this is not an easy map at all. And if you add the nerves and the pressure, it gets all the more difficult. So 1:10.6 there, a great winning time too. And again, look at this start from Gwen. Binks in 2nd now. So far, we've seen Binks in 4th usually in the start there. But now he's already quite close to his teammate. And will they get past the jump? Mudda again going far enough, making sure it stays clean.
I think he is
entry. Oh, Binks hesitating. That's
another huge multiple second mistake here. And Mudda so good on this part, getting closer to Gwen, getting almost next to him here. It depends on how much they want to risk on this left-hander. You can get more exit speed. Gwen accelerating earlier than Mudda, and that's going to put him in a favorable position. But we are coming down to the ending here. It is all about these couple of jumps. Gwen going a little bit lower. That's going to set him up for an earlier right-hander. Oh, Mudda.
He might not have the speed. Could perhaps not make the jump, and that is a costly mistake. Gwen made it, but will Binks pass him?
I think Binks might overtake here. Oh, Mudda does make the jump now, this on the 2nd attempt, so he will make sure that it's a tie. But my God, that was a little bit risky.
Draw, and it's 6-5. We're just creeping closer and closer to 10. But Binks here, he has to stabilize these mistakes. It's been so many crashes, and he's probably feeling and kicking himself, thinking, I'm throwing this game right now. Gwen has to be there for him to say, it's okay, bro. Try again, you got this. And the same for Mudda and Soldier. They are in a tough spot.
Oh, they definitely are right now. And it's just 1 point, right? It's just, you think it's just 1 point, but it's so much in this state. So hopefully Alliance, they can pull themselves together. They need both of the players to not make a single mistake here. And that looked really clean coming in from Mudda. Gwen now 0.4 of a second behind.
Yeah, roles are reversed here. We saw Mudda gain time and time again in that middle part, but now he's ahead before it even begins by 0.3. And this is a round that Alliance could ace.
Oh,
never mind. Soldier missing the jump. It might just be another draw, but Mudda is on killer pace up front. 0.6 of a second ahead. He has to hold this, though. He cannot afford to miss the jumps. If he misses, that could be G1 just 1 point away from the game, so a lot of pressure on Mudda.
We have seen Mudda made mistakes here on the last couple of jumps, but I think he knows he's quite far ahead, so he can afford to jump just a little bit higher. Soldier, though, he is going to try to see if he can snipe just in the ending or hope for a mistake coming in from G1. Does not look like it. Everybody executes it
making it.
You can see just how much closer they got to Mudda.
Yeah, Mudda was on Vortex pace. He saved that.
He saved the ending so much, and I think that's... You don't want to have an ego that says, oh, I have the opportunity world record, let me just risk for no reason.
He made the right call there.
Mudda doesn't care about the world record. He cares about getting the safe position.
6-7 now. G1 have entered match point territory. That means with an ace, they would win the game. Alliance 4 points away from that 10 mark. Next round out. Who's going to get the best start? The jump here, the landing. Binks getting a shaky one, but Gwen is up there in first, able to match Mudda and Soldier on the first 30 seconds of the track.
They are getting really close. Oh, huge mistake from Mudda, and now Soldier. He needs to keep this because Gamers First are only one ace away from taking home the map and indeed the entire series here against Alliance. So Soldier is on a task to stay on this second place at the very least, but hopefully overtake Gwen to just make it a tie.
This is going to be called on the comms. Binks right now has the space on the splits to risk all he wants to try to beat Soldier. 8 seconds, he can afford it. Gwen is going to try to secure first, but it's on Binks right now. We need to look, can he risk and get past Soldier? That's his mission. That would close the game in an instant, and he is getting closer and closer. One carding left on the last jump. Tries to get an early bounce and an early landing. Is it going to be enough? Soldier holding on, and we are not done yet. But G1 is 1 singular point away.
They are. It is now the option. So Alliance has to...
It's 97.
Yeah, exactly. Alliance has to get first and second place now. Anything other than first and second for the blue team is gonna make them lose the entire match here on map number 7.
Double match points. This is it. This is the last round of this set. 7 maps been played. It will all be decided here in this one round of Trackmania. G1 and Alliance. Here we go into the start. We've seen G1 tend to get the best starts, but Alliance are keeping up this time. This jump though, so important now, more than ever. Binks going pretty wide,
that's a lot of airtime,
and he will be quite far behind, but Gwen is up there. And as long as they don't get past Gwen here, both of them, G1 would win.
They have to. Gwen has to hold this second place position. Binks is 0.3 behind. We've seen a lot of mistakes coming in on this. Soldier almost sliding too much to the left. Is he still in the mix? He is, but he had to release on that right-hander, and that's going to give Gwen even more breathing room. He has to overtake. He has to get that 0.25 of a second. It's going to come down to the ending. Binks with a huge crash. Can Gwen maintain this second place? Can he overtake Mudda? Will Gamers First be the victors? It looked good here for the first jump. Can he get the second jump? One more jump to go. It looks like he's gonna get it. Soldier's too far behind, almost making it, but Gwen will maintain second place and give G1 the victory.
Incredible game here. 11 hundredths of a second being the difference between winning and losing the entire game. Mudda almost dropping a world record in that last round. Spectacular from all the players, but G1 just... with the slimmest of margins, get that victory. What a set.
That was an incredible game here. I mean, both the teams must have sweated so much by the end. The pressure to get that last ace for Alliance, they almost got it as well.
I mean, there's going to be a water shortage in Belgium and in Australia and France with how dehydrated these players are.
Absolutely. Oh my God. I mean, I can only imagine here. So we can see some of the replays, some of the highlights. Unfortunately, Mudda with a mistake.
And then you can look back in hindsight and think like, oh, if only this went different.
Yeah, if this one mistake didn't happen, I mean, and that's the thing. You can always look in hindsight, but regardless, both the teams played amazingly.
And when it is that close, you almost like can't really follow yourself. You know you're playing a spectacular game. You know your opponents did as well, and really you can just applaud them for their performance, and we as spectators can be very happy we got to witness that, because what a game.
What an absolute phenomenal game between Alliance and G1, but we're not done yet, Virtual. We still have another game to go.
There's more where that came from. Last game of the day, exciting one, Solary and
BDS. Solary and BDS, the top 2 teams of the entire league. They're gonna fight it out against each other in what very well could just be the finals, like just the finals. Wasn't this exactly also the finals?
This is a repeat of the playoffs finals.
This is the repeat of the stage 1 finals. Top 2 teams, and this is the game of the day. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with Solary versus BDS.
It is El Clasico.